Hey guys, it's Daniel, licensed therapist here. I am a man of the people who has dedicated part of his life to helping individuals in need to make this world a better place. And man, did I find a bunch of people in need when I discovered the subreddit Social Skills. For those who are unfamiliar with Reddit, it's basically a collection of communities where people post on different topics, and the social skills community is a bunch of guys and gals struggling to develop relationships and make connections for one reason or another. So here I am, social skills subreddit. A licensed therapist has come to save the day. Let's look at a few posts and see if we can't come up with some advice to help these poor people. Hey, no judgment or shame. We've all been there at some point. Let's check it out. All right, let's look at this first post. How can I stay on? You know what I mean? That state where you're effortlessly witty and charming. Oh yeah, I know that state. That happens ever so often, but never when you actually want to impress somebody. What helps to elicit these sorts of states for you? Most of the time, it feels like my head is stuck in the mud. This is posted by Faith in Strangers 94. All right, Faith in Strangers. Well, let's look at some of the comments. What are they saying? Glass University says, I don't think you can. Nice. Let's see here. Kale says, I feel sharper, calmer, and happier after I exercise. Especially when I drink pre-workout or an energy drink / caffeine. Okay. Here's Haunted Halloween says, for me, it's alcohol. Yeah, I don't know about that. And the next comment here, be careful. That's a dangerous crutch. I agree. Very dangerous to depend on alcohol. And I would say depend on anything for that matter, like energy drinks, caffeine, working out. I don't think you need to depend on anything. So Faith in Strangers, here is my advice. Because you say something interesting, right? When you actually want to impress someone. And you say you can do it every so often, or every once in a while, you're in this state where you can effortlessly be witty and charming. So that means you can do it. But when you try to impress someone, you can't do it. And it feels like your head is stuck in the mud. So here's the problem, Faith in Strangers. You're just not being present. You're not in the moment. You're thinking about something else. You're overthinking. You're probably, if you're trying to impress someone, thinking about what they're thinking. Do they like what I'm saying? Do they like my hair? Do they like my clothes? Right? When you think about all those things, it's anxiety provoking. And it takes you out of the moment. Being effortlessly witty and charming, it's fun. You're just having a good time. There's a great energy exchange that's going on with this other person, and the other person is having fun. So Faith, just be in the moment, enjoy talking to people, hanging out with people, and just be yourself. Assume that you're a great person and that you're accepted, and just go for it. Get out of your own head. Be present. There you go, Faith in Strangers. All right, let's check out another one. The next one here, how can I stop being boring? All right, this one is posted by Impressive Fig. How can I stop being boring, stiff, and serious so people will finally like me? All right, I'm in my mid-30s and I have a very boring personality due to lifelong depression. I have very few interests and spend most of my time lurking on Reddit when I'm not working. How do people gain social skills so that people will like them or so that they can advance in their career? All right, Impressive Fig. This one seems like it's a little deeper than social skills. I mean, if you're talking about a lifelong depression and very few interests, this is very serious stuff that's going on, Impressive Fig. And I don't think simply trying to gain a few skills to connect with people is going to make any of that stuff go away. Let's look at the comments though. Here we have top comment, Jolly Dancer. You need to develop your personality in a way that you like yourself. Then other people will like you too. I agree with that. The key is accepting and liking yourself. Yes, I do feel like Impressive Fig, you need to start liking and accepting yourself more. Impressive Fig actually replies here and says, but I don't know how to develop my personality. I feel that I lack so much when it comes to connections with others, and I don't know how to love myself from a lifetime of hatred. It's like I'm walking in a circle. I can't think of any redeeming qualities about myself other than my strong work ethic, and I only have that because I think that's the only way people might like me. All right, there's a bunch of red flags there. He has a lifetime of hatred. How did he experience this lifetime of hatred? I'm wondering. And he doesn't know how to love himself. That is a huge problem. And I would say, Impressive Fig, before you go trying to make connections with people, learn social skills, trying to get ahead in your job, you need to learn how to love yourself and accept yourself. And you need to go back and look at the lifetime of hatred and how that has caused you not to love yourself. If you can't think of any redeeming qualities about yourself, that is a huge problem. Let's go a little bit more and see what Jolly Dancer responds. So let's see what he or she said. So you need to stop the hatred first. Agreed. Whenever thought comes up in your mind where you want to bash yourself, blame yourself for something, or tell yourself you're stupid or so, stop it right there. Think of yourself as your best friend. You want to protect your best friend from harm. Man, I totally agree. So if that voice in your head wants to hurt your best friend, stop the voice and reformulate what it said into something encouraging. You're not stupid at all. You have a lot of potential. You just need to learn, practice this particular thing in order to get it right. It's not your fault. Circumstances in your life brought you here. Okay, I love what Jolly Dancer is saying. And I have a sneaking suspicion Jolly Dancer is a therapist or has been in therapy, because what they're talking about is actually something I do a lot in therapy, which is object relations theory, where we take into our mind these voices of people that we have experienced in our life. And a lot of times it's in our formative years, and a lot of time it's our parents or our grandparents or whoever was there raising us, right? And Impressive Fig had a lifetime of hatred. So I'm guessing a lot of that had to have come from his or her parents. So there's probably his or her mom or dad saying these things. There's nothing good about you. That is a huge problem. And Jolly Dancer saying you should have your best friend as a voice, right? To protect yourself from the voice of your mom and your dad. Let's see what Impressive Fig says here in response. It's going to be very difficult, seeing as negative self-talk is all I know. I know that being severely bullied as a child by my classmates and older siblings hasn't helped. Also, I was always told I was stupid by my parents. There we go. And implied that I'm not worth anything because I'm female. Okay, it's a female. So there's a lot going on there, Impressive Fig. She says, I didn't even make a friend until I was 16. So, I think that Jolly Dancer is giving really good advice here, but I have doubts that Impressive Fig is going to be able to do that on her own. So what's my advice, Impressive Fig? Go to therapy. Go get a therapist. Work all of this stuff out. Look at your childhood. Look at the messages you received. Look at the internal objects or voices and see how they developed, and change those voices. Change your thought patterns. Change how you see yourself. And that is a lot of work, Impressive Fig, but you can get there. So that's my advice. I don't know if that's what you want to hear. And I think it's kind of rich coming from a therapist to say go to therapy, but that's really what I think, Impressive Fig. Go get a good therapist. Go through that process. You can do it. All right, let's move on to this next one by Shrex is Hot. All right, Shrex is Hot. Should I let my feelings out? Let's see what Shrex says. Hi, I'm a 16-year-old female, and I'm in this after-school theater, high school, 16-year-old. Weird time. So let's see what she says. And today I got upset. After cleaning up, one of my friends tells me, hey, are you going to hang out at this person's house today? I was confused, and she told me, you didn't see the group chat? I look at our techie group chat and there's nothing about a hangout. So she said, I must be hallucinating. She looks for the text and I see that they have another group chat talking about hanging out. She sincerely apologizes for me not being in that chat. I don't know what to feel at that time, but a few minutes later, I was starting to feel sad. It's just upsetting. And I try my best to get myself known, but they barely can remember my presence. I know I haven't been hanging out with them, but even a year later, that hurts. Overall, I'm wondering if I should text the techie group chat and tell them that my feelings were hurt for not being invited. I'm just scared that they'll talk behind my back or not even care. Lastly, how would I explain it to you? All right, Shrex is Hot. Should you text them and tell them your feelings? You know, normally I would say it depends on the context, but for you, Shrex, I would say don't do it. And this is why. It's because I feel like you're coming from a place of insecurity. How do I know that? Well, it's the conclusions you've jumped to. It's the thoughts that you've had based on what happened. Because, you know, people go through this all the time, but they don't think what you're thinking, and it doesn't make them sad. And even at the end, where you say, I'm just scared they'll talk behind my back or not even care. Why would you even think that they would talk behind your back or not even care? So that lets me, or that you know, makes me believe that you have a lot of negative beliefs about yourself. There's a lot of negative narratives that you're telling yourself about what's going on in this friend group, or maybe just in friends in general, or in relationships in general. You know, it says here that you didn't know how, or you didn't know what to feel, and a few minutes later, you start to feel sad. And so, you know what? I feel like your insecurities got the best of you there. You had a choice on what to think, and what you chose. It may not feel like a choice, but there were many different thoughts you could have had and latch onto and go down that train of thought. So you could have wound up in a better place, but you wound up in a place where you're, you know, outcast. People are talking behind your back. They didn't even care. Here's the thing though, Shrex, there is evidence here that says that these people do care about you, right? This person came up to you and asked you, hey, are you going? Kind of insinuating that they want you to be there, right? They apologized for not having you in the group chat. You said so yourself. She sincerely apologizes. So that leads me to think that, hey, these people don't hate you. They're not trying to, you know, do anything behind your back. They're not, you know, trying to cast you out or anything like that. I don't know what the story is, right? Maybe that does need to be investigated, but you know, you've only been there a year. Maybe they've been together for a really long time, right? And so let's not come from a place of insecurity, but let's be secure. It seems like these people at least want a friendship with you or have some kind of connection with you. Let's keep going with that. Let's be grateful for that, and let's take care of that friendship. You know, let's make that friendship grow into something great, beautiful, and solid. And I'm sure it's all gonna be fine. Hey, you guys are a bunch of 16-year-old girls, so it's a weird thing, but you could figure it out, Shrex, okay? Stay strong. Believe in yourself, all right? All right, so Shrex is Hot. there you go. That's my advice to you. Don't do it, and just continue to build those relationships. And I think you'll be okay, and you'll look back and say, hey, maybe that was probably an overreaction. All right, guys, that's my advice to those 3 Reddit social skills people. I hope that was helpful and enlightening. And if you have anything else you want me to react to, I mean, hey, it's free professional advice. What more can you ask for, right? Leave it in the comments below. I'm always looking for new ideas that are cool that you guys are looking for. So let me know. Leave it in the comments. And I thank you for watching. See you next time.